Fire away.
Break that down.
That's right.
No, it's not. It's not working. This isn't working.
Is that mine? It would be my, trying to throw it out today.
He played catch, felt good, and he's going to throw tomorrow. He's going to throw an inning tomorrow. Correct.
And
Dustin May on Sunday.
Is Dustin May kind of clear to the back thing that he pitched?
Yep, he feels normal. So I think for us, it's just to kind of get him built up. It's going to be 2 innings tomorrow, 2 or 3 innings tomorrow.
It's safe to say.
Or Sunday, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is it safe to say if Blake reports back Sunday and feeling good, bouncing back well, he's on the roster?
Yeah, I think it's certainly gives us more of an option. We just want to make sure that, you know, tomorrow is very telling, but how he recovers also is just as important. So to be honest, I don't think I can answer that question until after he comes out of tomorrow.
We asked Andrew the same thing about his ability to pitch in consecutive days and things like that. How much availability is enough availability we're trying?
Well, I think it's obviously ideal if he can go back to back. You know, if it takes a day to recover and then get back on the second day, could work. But you just don't know when you're going to deploy him, and so it's just kind of cost versus what makes sense and utility wise. So I still think the main thing is that if he can pitch an inning and feel good, that'd be very telling.
And how much of an option is it to just say, take another week and we'll see if it's there?
I think that we would be, if it gets to that point, I think that's a decision that we'd make and be okay with. I still think right now where we're at is the hope is to have him on line for us in the DS.
How much did Taylor do today?
He threw out to 120, took swings in the cage. Tomorrow he's going to be a full participant as far as the inter-squad game. He's not going to partake in live at-bats, and the plan is for him to take the live at-bats on Sunday.
You guys think that one day of those would be kind of enough?
Well, we're going to do it Sunday and then potentially get a simulated game going on Monday, and that should suffice.
Did it remind you a little bit of the COVID days with no?
It did. We just didn't have the cardboard cutouts, but you know, it did. It did. We did a lot of that in 20. We had the umpires, the scoreboard. Obviously, we had the other game on. Guys were watching, but it was fun. There was a little bit of banter going on, but for the most part, guys were getting their work in and got a lot out of it. So it certainly kind of had signs of 2020.
Are any of your position players fighting for a roster spot in these inter-squad games at all, or are those pretty much locked up right now?
We still kind of, I think we're just kind of figuring out kind of the back end of that position player part of it, which makes most sense as far as utility in a 5-game series, and you know how games can play out, what value a few guys might have versus the others.
Just doing roster matches basically between Miguel and Concert.
You know, I don't. I mean, it's just I don't really want to kind of use the names. Obviously, Hanser has a lot of value, experience, and obviously Miguel's more dynamic. There's some things he can do. So yeah, I mean, just kind of talking through that, and again, trying to figure out what makes most sense for our roster.
You guys have a lot of options on the pitching side for 13 spots. Like, will the opponent play a role in deciding those 13, or is it just like with no day off between 4 and 5, kind of who can go back to back, or like how do you guys kind of weigh that decision on the pitching side?
I don't necessarily think it's with who the options are, as far as the pen. The opponent has much of a bearing I think we talked a little bit about Blake, and then just a couple other guys we're trying to figure out. I guess ultimately is who fits best, for a 5-game series. So it's not necessarily a handedness part of it, though. Yeah,
Still not ready to announce the game when it started?
we're close. We're close. Not yet, though.
What will happen over the next couple of days that'll?
We'll tell you.
Do they know yet?
They do.
Somebody's keeping a secret.
That's right. We are. Absolutely. I don't think it's, and certainly it's something that, it's going to be talked about, but I think as far as kind of the gamesmanship part, it's not as big of a deal. I think in other instances where it's a left-hander versus a right-hander, whoever we play knows they're going to get a left-handed pitcher, and they know one of those two guys. They know the two guys in the first 2 games. So, I'm not trying to be too coy, but we just want to hold it a little bit longer.
You know about 3 and 4 yet?
No, we don't. Obviously, one of the days we expect Tyler to start. One of the days, I think we expect Tony to start. And Tony is essentially going to be a bullpen game. So however we want to kind of go about that, I think some of that has to do with how we get out of game 1 and game 2, just kind of seeing what's at our disposal.
And when is Tony going to throw this week tomorrow?
Tony is going to throw Sunday. I think he's throwing Sunday. I'm sorry. It's tomorrow. I'm sorry, Bill. Tomorrow. He's throwing Saturday. That's right. He and Blake are throwing with some relievers tomorrow, and then Dustin will go on Sunday.
Hey Dave, we had some audio problems. Can
Yep.
we just get you from the top? Tell us about the workout.
Yeah, it was a productive workout. Inter squad had some guys had our guys here taking some at bats against some pitchers. Some of the guys that we brought over from the Stay Hot camp. One name of note, Gavin Stone, who's a minor league pitcher of the year. I thought he showed really well. Pepio, Jackson through. We had Victor Gonzalez though at the end with Brule. So getting those arms shown to our guys taking some at bats. A lot of good things. I think it was 6 innings total. Couldn't win any better for us.
Looked like they were having fun too. Just everything was really
Yeah. I mean, you got to have fun. I mean, it's obviously it was good to see Miguel Vargas hit a homer and Freddie hit a homer. So there's some back and forth. Obviously, when you got Austin Barnes in the mix, there's always going to be some joking back and forth with him. So yeah, we got everything we wanted out of it. We'll do it again tomorrow, and then Sunday will be a little bit more abbreviated.
Did you happen to see Scherzer out of your sideline at all on the board, or then what the Padres were doing at all?
I did.
And what did you think about that?
Made some mistakes, and they took advantage of it. So, I mean, we're expecting DeGrom to go tomorrow, and we'll see kind of how it plays out.
You just root for that series to go 3.
It's one of those things you're careful about wishing for something because you might get it, that old adage. But, I do think that having the series go 3 games is a benefit to us. I mean, and we'll kind of deal with, who comes out of it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.